For more, let's bring in former U.S. Army Captain and Restoration of America Foundation CEO Doug Truax and retired Navy Captain Brent Sadler. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hi, Mike.
Thank you.
So, Doug, what's your analysis of this precision operation going into Venezuela and removing the president and his wife late last night?
Yeah, it's a great day in general, Mike. I mean, it's a great day for the military. I'm an Army guy, so I think it looks like it was Delta and 160th SOAR. So way to go, guys on the ground making it happen. Unbelievable. It's a great day for the people of Venezuela, obviously. I know we'll talk more about what's going to come next. But it's a great day for the American people. I mean, this has been a problem that's been going on for a long time. And, technically, after we indicted these two a long time ago, we could have gone in and got them, but we didn't. And the reason we didn't is because we had weakness and chaos during the Biden years. I mean, this just has been going on forever. Biden just overwhelmed the border with the illegals. Trinidad Arago was coming in. Trump's absolutely right. Hundreds of thousands of people have died from fentanyl, and all the drugs have been pouring in from this guy. He's probably the top drug kingpin in the world right now, and he's been targeting us. He's been talking to the Chinese and the Russians. So this is a time where it's like, it's time to go do something about this guy. He had lots of off ramps, didn't take them, so we went in and got him. And I think that this point that Steve was making just a second ago, that we got him so handily, I think it's a good demonstration that there's a lot of people behind him that are willing to help us now going forward because they see what's happened to their country. So I think it's a great day overall. Lots to be learned going forward, but I really commend the military and how they pulled this off.
Brent, we know that the Pentagon draws up operation plans for all over the world in case the commander-in-chief says go. We got a lot of details from Chairman Kane, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, about what went into this operation. What stuck out to you?
The precision and the fact that there was very little response from the Venezuelan military or the Cubans that were defending or protecting the senior leadership, in this case, Maduro and his wife. So that actually indicates a significant amount of preconditioning, setting the conditions, and also picking the right time with very exquisite intel and insights. That's what really stood out the most, and that doesn't come easy.
Doug, President Trump said the United States will basically run it until they can conduct a smooth and effective transition to proper government. Your thoughts on the weeks and months ahead?
Well, yeah, it's going to be tricky, but this is not like we went in full-scale battle and took out their army and everything else. It does look like there's going to be some cooperation right out of the gate because, frankly, out of the gate, they're going to have to cooperate or they're going to be gone. And the infrastructure's crumbled. There's no doubt about it. But there are still people running it and managing it in some capacity. So I think this is more, we're going to step in, provide some key leadership, bring in some key pieces. President Trump keeps talking about our oil companies, obviously the best in the world, at coming in and building up things as quickly as possible. They'll come in and identify a lot of the infrastructure problems right away. I think the Venezuelans will be more than happy to play along with that for sure. And I think as long as we get some cooperation with the people on the ground that are actually managing what's there, I think it can happen. And I think they're pretty grateful for us right now. And Trump has expressed, this is not, we're going to go in there and take over a country. That's not the idea. The Venezuelan people can come out of this doing really great because there's so much oil there. They've done so well previously, and this guy just ran it into the ground.
Brent, there also seem to be warning shots sent to Cuba, Colombia. What about that after you see this operation play out just overnight?
No, absolutely. I think Cuba is probably the one that has to worry the most, because they are so dependent on the oil and the energy and the protection racket that they benefit from that was, emanating out of Venezuela. Now that's gone. Of course, Colombia's got a presidential election coming in the not too distant future, and a president that himself has connections to narco-terrorists himself in his past. And so interesting to see how Colombia's leadership responds to this. And certainly the United States has a long relationship, very positive one, going after these narco-terrorists with the Colombian military and the Colombian people for many decades. An important point also about the Venezuelan economy. The oil industry is a third of what it was when Hugo Chavez came in 1999. The economy of Venezuela has shrunk by over 30% in the last 6 years. It can snap back, and I think there's huge opportunity. And also, it's important to note that China is the largest customer of Venezuelan oil. Well, it'll be interesting to see how we can use the Chinese to fund the rebuilding and bringing back democracy in Venezuela.
Gentlemen, I want to play a clip from the commander-in-chief, and I'll get you to react to it.
We are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so.
So President Trump making it clear that if whoever is there in Venezuela doesn't play ball, we may go back in, Doug.
Yeah, that's right. There has to be the threat looming out there, and that's perfectly fine. And I think Secretary Rubio did a fantastic job of standing up there at the press conference and saying, look, here's the deal. We'll give you guys options, but just take the best one you possibly can and get out of this thing with your life, because we'll come back in. And that's what he's doing now, is saying, look, we want everybody to play along, but just so you know, we got all these troops out here. We're ready to go again. There's a good option for you if you want to do what we say you should do. And, you know, that goes well. That's going to play out well in the future for all these other players. And I think the Mexicans have got to figure out what they're doing about the cartels, too, because it's a new day. And we're willing to do what we need to do, especially in our hemisphere, especially when it comes to protecting our own people from this drug epidemic that's been going on in our country.
Brent, I'm up against the clock. Final word?
Yeah, Latin America has turned the page, and I think we're going back to democracy, and we're going back to responsible governments to their people. And I think regimes like Cuba and the leadership in Colombia and, of course, Mexico need to be rethinking what they've been doing the last few years.
Doug Truax, Brent Sadler, thank you very much for your analysis today.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.